And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Filmbox Podcast. I definitely didn't already do that intro and forget to play my intro music for the second week in a row. It's duo time. I'm your host, Aaryn Souza. I'm joined just by Connor this week. And it's a bit of a duo pod this week. Connor, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I wish we
just
were
hit record
video.
on I am recording the video. I just hit record on the video.
Good, because I can see the sweat dripping down your forehead.
I know. We gotta talk about this. First off, before we get into this, it's Shark Month. We're continuing Shark Month. It's episode 2 of Shark Month. We're reviewing Sharknado today, as you can tell by the title of this episode. So I'm so excited to talk about this. But first, I gotta talk about the absolute debacle that I just went through. So, I've been upgrading my setup a little bit. Got a new microphone. I hope I sound better. I got a new microphone, the Neat King B2. So if anyone knows what that is, that's what I got. It's a wonderful microphone. Biggest issue with this microphone, though, is very heavy. Very heavy. So while I was upgrading equipment, I was like, you know what? I might as well get a new mic stand. Because my low profile one that I had from Fifine, I like it, but it can kind of sometimes be a little bit, iffy on the strength holding things up. So like, you know what? I'll just get a new one. I got one. Found one that I liked. So I had the microphone for a few days, but when I came home from work, the mic stand had arrived one day early. So I was like, oh, cool. I get to use it for the pod today. So when I went to go unscrew the microphone for this microphone from the mic stand, it like wasn't budging. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't tighten it that hard. Yeah, I gave it an extra little like to get it settled, but I didn't tighten it that hard. So it took a little bit of struggling, but eventually I untwisted it and I was like, all right, cool. We get this going. Untwisted it all, realized, and I'm actually going to grab it real quick because I can show it on video. I have it right here.
I'm so glad everyone else can see just how sweaty he is.
On the stand of these mics is a little, it's like how you twist it on. You have a mic stand. It's like it's got the thing, like one of these things.
Yeah.
That, how it twists
on.
A
doohickey,
whatever.
For those who can't see.
Yeah, a little doohickey. For those who can't see, I'm holding it up, but, So I was like, all right, I got this little doohickey. I bring it off and I look at it and I'm like, shit, the piece. So I needed like an extra fitting to fit in there to fit onto the Fifine mic stand. It's like, shit, so the piece that I thought was stuck in there is not actually what's stuck in there. This piece is stuck in there. So I'm like, because I need this piece to come out so I can put it, because the new mic stand doesn't fit the same fitting as the old mic stand. So I'm like, I need this to come out. And it's not budging. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is stupid. So I grab a pair of pliers and I'm pulling at it and and that's not coming. I grab a stronger pair of pliers and I'm pulling and I'm twisting and that's not going. I'm like, what the hell is this? Well, I grabbed WD-40, Connor, like a big boy, and said, this is coming out. And I sprayed it all with WD-40, and I'm tugging, and I'm pulling, and it's not coming out. And I want you to look at this, too. You can see, it's all mangled. See this silver? That was all black when it started. It was painted matte black. I was like, legitimately like all my strength trying to twist this thing and it wouldn't come out. It still hasn't come out. I'm holding it right now. It's still not coming out. I'm like, I did not tighten this thing that hard for it to be this stuck. So I was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'd been already going at this for like 20 minutes. It's like, we need to record. I'm just going to get a new, like, I have other mics with the same, like, kind of hold on it. It's the same kind of clasp. So I was like, I'm just going to grab another one and figure it out. And luckily, the mic stand came with that, like, a different piece that had that attachment on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I'm just going to take this one. And, you know, the fitting wasn't quite right. So I had to screw it in with a screw gun to get it to, because it would bite, but you could tell that the screw that held it in is just a little bit bigger than the hole. Mm-hmm. Just by a little bit. So I screwed it in to make sure it would tighten. I was like, all right, finally, we're getting somewhere. I took the old mic stand off, and I was so frustrated at this point. And that mic stand, by the way, has an issue. Well, no, I
threw it out the
mic
window.
Stand. So before I had tried to because it has like the little clasp underneath that holds the cables underneath it, and one of them I knew was stuck, and so I just ripped it off with a pair of pliers, like, because I was so frustrated at that point. I was like, done, and all the little clasp broke. I was like, I don't even care. All right, replace the mic stand, put it all in, get it all set up, and I go to I twist the mic on, and I go to set it up, and I watch this thing go standing, and just go because it's so heavy. And I'm like, there's no chance that this mic arm isn't strong enough to hold this thing. And I'm tightening it, and I put it up, and I just go right to the desk. I'm like, are you kidding me? After I did all of that. After all of that. So what do? I take it off. I'm trying to, like, replace it, but now I've screwed in the new thing, so it's just too big now for the old twist-on part. And I'm like, all right, well, that's not working, and I have no other piece to fit in the Fifine mic stand because that's stuck in the thing, in the other piece that now doesn't fit because it's just too big now, the hole just too big. So I'm like, what is going on? So I come over to this mic stand, and I'm like, you're gonna stay no matter what. And all my strength, I'm twisting the lock to make sure that it stays up. Put the mic on, and it stayed. So now we're okay.
You're going to tap your desk once, and it's just going to fall.
And it's just going to come.
The podcast will be no more. You're going to punch so hard through your monitor. Like, dude, it'll hang up on my end.
Literally. No, this was literally, we were supposed to record at like 5:30. We started this at 6:30.
You texted oh, I'm having mic problems. I was like, oh, okay. I figured maybe it's just not connecting. And then 20 minutes in, I was like, might be a little something else.
Something else is going on. Yeah. So I don't know what to do with this now. I can't get it out. But what I think I'm going to do now is just order a new set of the little socket things. And if I decide to go back to the old mic stand, I'm just going to obviously keep the same doohickey, the same clasp, and just put the new piece on there to get it to fit correctly. But, like, I mean, and the whole time too, it's hot. My apartment's AC is fine, but it doesn't circulate that well. And I didn't think this would be such a huge job. So it's hot in my apartment, and I am sweating bullets. But here we are.
We made it.
We made it. And now 10 minutes in, it's time to start the show.
Well, can I tell a quick story, too, about my weekend?
Yes. Yes, please.
My girlfriend, Aaryn, and I went to a 4th of July party. Just because. And a girl was driving from Jersey, got there to the place we went, walks to the backyard, and she's like, my car is smoking. Can someone help me, please?
Oh, God.
So 2 guys went. I don't know cars well enough. I was just going to be like, yeah, car shouldn't be smoking.
Yeah, it's car smoking. I don't know what to tell you.
I see the problem there. It's on fire. But a girl went with them too. She came back. She's like, oh, her car's on fire. Like, it's going to blow up. And we thought she was joking. Because, like, she just said so matter of fact. Like, oh, yeah, no, her car's on fire. It's definitely going to explode. And we're like, oh, she's like, no. Like, it's going to blow up. So we're in the backyard. We walked to the front yard so we could see it engulfed in flame.
Oh my God.
Engulfed. And because I think their house was on a hill, so she had to park all the way towards the top of the hill. So she was, first off, everyone was fine. Like safety, health-wise, everyone's good.
Good.
On a selfish note, she was so far away from my car too. I was so happy.
You were like, thank God.
Yeah. But we're watching and we hear like the sirens for like the fire department come. We're like, all right, cool. This car is more fire than car at this point.
Oh,
and everyone's
God.
just like, oh, it's going to blow up soon. And as soon as the fire department shows up, boom.
It actually
blows.
blew up.
It blows.
Damn.
Not like
That's
it didn't
crazy.
like it didn't explode into like a million pieces, but like there was a little bit of a fireball.
Jesus.
And then the tires blew out too, which was another little explosion. But
yeah,
that was my weekend.
Wow. Well, thank God that people are okay. That's a scary situation.
Horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. On that same note though, I did see on the highway someone's car, someone like out of their car on the side of the highway, smoke pouring out of their car, like black smoke pouring out. I was like, oh, that car's going to explode. That car's done. And
Big
she was
weekend
on
for
the side of the
car
road,
fires.
like 30 feet away, like call on the phone. I was like, obviously she's calling the fire department, but like the hood was down and smoke was just pouring out. It was black smoke pouring out of the engine. And I was like, yeah, that's done. That car is blowing up easily.
I've seen a couple cars on fire in my life. And not even just like the past 4 years, I would say. I've seen so many. Well, it's three.
I've seen two this year.
3.
Okay. Well,
once was at a gas station too, and I was like,
oh God,
we need to get
like
out
let's
of here.
skedaddle down to the next gas station.
It was on the other side. It was like one of those off like the highway type rest stops. So
Yep.
we were going the other way, and we're like, oh my God.
Oh, man.
Anywho,
we have a movie podcast. Oh my
listen,
God,
it's been just so long
Whew.
since I've talked to you.
I know. Man.
So clearly so much has happened in our lives.
Apparently, there's a ton that's happened. All right, so we've got to talk about our movie today, Sharknado. But first, we got a couple orders of business that we usually go through right at the beginning of the show, but we're now doing 12 minutes into the show. We got to talk about what we've been watching lately and what have you been drinking late. What are you drinking?
What have I been drinking lately? Water. Got to do that.
I'll go first. I've got 2 movies on my list. One of them is Sharknado for today. The other one, and I will say too, we're recording this like 3 days after we recorded the last episode, so don't come at me for only having seen 2 movies. But I saw Sharknado and I saw Synecdoche, New York.
How was it?
Synecdoche was, I liked it a lot for the first 45 minutes, and then the last 45 minutes, it kind of lost me a little bit. It's very confusing, very meta, very like, it's a lot. It's a lot to take it. So, but it was good. So, no complaints. Oh, I'm drinking water too. I'm fucking pounding water right now.
Yeah, it's going straight from your forehead into your mouth.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I've seen 5 movies.
Okay.
So I saw my cousin Vinny for the first time with my beautiful girlfriend Aaryn. Oh my God!
Did she log it? Did she log it on Letterboxd?
No, she did not.
Anyways, what'd you think?
Loved it.
It's so
4.5.
good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
2 Utes. 2 what?
The 2 Utes.
Yeah, it was so good.
I think if we were to build a Mount Rushmore, let's just do a little thought
of Italian
experiment
Americans.
first. No, a Mount Rushmore of the film box actors and actresses. Who I think for me, Joe Pesci is on there.
I would put Brando.
Oh, you're doing like actual. I'm thinking like for like the film box, like what from what we've done and what we've talked about. I think it would be.
What else have we talked about him with?
I don't know, but I feel like he'd just be up there just for the vibes. Judge Reinhold definitely on there.
It has to be icon. Oh, I see what you're doing. What's his
David
name?
Krumholtz.
Yes, Krumholtz. Krumholtz is on
Krumholtz.
our Mount Rushmore.
There's
Leslie Mann.
definitely another one. Leslie Mann. Yeah, Leslie Mann probably. And if we had to replace Joe Pesci, I feel like Joe Pesci's a good one just for the vibes. Like he's a vibes guy.
Paul Giamatti.
Ooh, we've talked about him a little bit.
Remember that time that we were looking up Jim Carrey and it was only Paul Giamatti?
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. And then also, I think if we were to add a fifth, Dominic Sessa.
Yeah.
For the same reason. Yeah. Anyways.
So
I'm on one today.
Yeah. We need Sam here because Sam is like.
I know.
So I was watching.
Literally, Sam is like, he may not like talk a ton. Like, we go off on tangents, and Sam's always the one to just bring us back. He's like, guys, here's the podcast.
Guys, I don't have all day.
He's a busy man.
So then I just knocked off a bunch. The rest of them were pretty much just movies off my watch list. Saw City Lights, Shoplifters, and The Untouchables. All very good.
Think?
City Lights wasn't the biggest fan, but I think I just don't like silent movies as much.
Yeah, it's a totally different era.
I need the audio engagement or the stimuli. Shoplifters, very good. Just nails like a family dynamic that I don't know why. It's just it always just hits so close to home, even though like I can't relate to the circumstances that they're going through. It's just so personal every single time. And then Untouchables was very like that was a warm hug of a movie. And then Sharknado.
Very nice.
Thank you. And I'm drinking water and a sparkling ice.
Ooh, very, very nice. All right. So, before we talk about Sharknado, we got a quick game to play. Stategories. If you've seen us on TikTok, we did a couple TikToks of this. But basically what it is we're going to be looking at things, which is great for a visual media or an audio medium.
Mm-hmm.
But they're basically, we're going to get two movies. We have to guess which movie of the two has the higher box office total number.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we'll call them out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're not going to make it just a visual thing, right?
Left. Right. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yep. Oh, definitely that one.
It's definitely just more of a gut feeling game. We don't have to think too much.
No. So we're going to try what? How do you want to try and get like 10 in a row or?
Let's try to get 10 in a row.
Okay. And if we do get 10, we might just keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Dunkirk or War for the Planet of the Apes? Both in 2017.
I think
I'm going to say definitely War for the Planet of the Apes.
409.
400. Okay. And we're done.
Yeah.
All right. That was a fun game. It was 490 to 520, something like that. All right. The Eternals or Black Panther. This one should be easy. It's Black Panther. That one made over $1 billion.
402.
Oof.
Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb.
Black Panther or Spirited Away. Definitely Black Panther. You're not going to get a ton that are going to beat that.
Yeah, better
Spirited
movie,
Away, 357 million.
Spirited Away versus Tron Legacy from 2010.
Oh, this is tough. This one's tough.
I want to say Tron.
I do also want to say Tron because it was such a beloved. Actually, it was kind of like, yeah. All right, yeah. Tron 400 million.
Rio.
Ooh,
I think it's Rio.
Rio. Yeah, I think Rio. The family stuff has definitely got it.
Yeah, 43 to 400. 100 million. Hangover Part 3. I think it's the hit. I think finales always do incredibly well.
I don't know. I don't think The Hangover really, like, by the time they got to the third one, anyone really cared.
But I feel like the third one is the one that a lot of people know. I want to go with Hangover.
I'll give it to you. Hangover Part 3.
You shouldn't have done that.
Nope.
It was wrong.
I shouldn't have done that. All right. We got 4. So let's try it again.
We got The Revenant versus Iron Man 2.
Definitely Iron Man 2.
There's that Marvel money. 623 versus 532.
That was a lot closer than I thought. I'm not gonna lie.
I know I just said finales tend to do better. I do not think that's the case for Cars 3 versus Iron Man 2.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one cared about Cars 3.
383 to 623. Lethal Weapon 3 versus Cars 3.
Oh, that's tough because like Lethal Weapon 3 in 1992 money.
I don't think it was pulling in Cars 3 money.
I think it might have been pulling in Cars 3 money.
I'll go with you because I fucked us last time.
Yeah, go with Lethal Weapon 3.
321 to 383.
Oh, that one's so close.
All right, so now we're even. We both flubbed it enough.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Murder on the Orient Express. Not even going to debate it.
It's Murder on the Orient Express.
Now, Spider-Man 575 to 352. Slumdog Millionaire versus Spider-Man.
I don't think Slumdog Millionaire was that big. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it was that big at the box office. Great movie.
I don't think so either. I'll go Spider-Man.
Okay. Go to Spider-Man. Yeah.
378 for Slumdog. The Last Samurai versus Slumdog Millionaire.
It's Tom Cruise, man. I honestly think it's going to be Last Samurai.
We'll go Last Samurai 454
Yes.
to Slumdog's 378. Prometheus versus The Last Samurai.
I still feel Last Samurai.
That's
I don't
tough.
think Prometheus had that pull.
I don't think so either. We'll go Last Samurai 403 for Prometheus. We were good.
That was
Matrix
close.
Reloaded versus Prometheus.
Hey, game, can we get like a cakewalk one for a second?
Can we get like Infinity War versus like
yeah, please.
Gooby?
Marmaduke.
Sharknado.
Prometheus or The Matrix Reloaded?
What? I kind of feel like The Matrix.
Yeah. I mean, well, is Matrix Reloaded the second or third one?
I do not know.
Oh God. I think
it's second. I think it's second.
I think it is, and I think that's gonna put it over the top.
We'll go with Matrix. Oh yeah, 741.
Because by the third one, people realized that it was trash after the first one.
Mm-hmm. We got Matrix Reloaded versus Tomorrow Never Dies.
I don't think a 1990s Bond had that kind of pull.
No. We'll go Matrix. Yeah, 741 to 333.
No way.
Batman 89 versus Tomorrow Never Dies.
It's Batman. It's gotta be Batman.
I feel like it's Batman too.
Batman 1989 is
411 to 333.
goated.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes versus Batman. That's Dawn. 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, 710
Easily.
to 411. The Lion King 2019 versus Dawn. It's Lion King because that was in our $1 billion movie.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.6 bill.
Yeah. Oh my God. For that trash heap. All right.
This is the hydrogen bomb versus the coughing baby. Lion King versus Taken 2. We'll go Lion King.
It's Lion King. Jesus, by over 1.3 billion.
Some Liam Neeson versus
We got Liam Neeson action.
Schindler's List versus Taken 2. Oh, we hit 10, by the way.
We did hit 10. Let's see. Let's go until we stop.
Schindler's List?
I think it's gonna be Schindler. I think it might be Taken.
You want to go Taken? No, I'm going Schindler's List.
Okay.
Damn it.
We should have done Taken too. I knew it.
We got to our 10.
Right.
We're good.
We got 10. Yep. We'll do this again. Yay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you ready to talk about Sharknado?
Fuck. Yes, I am.
All right. Let's talk about Sharknado. Do you have any reviews for Sharknado? Sam's not here.
Do I? Yes, I do.
Oh, look at that.
I was hoping you were gonna play the theme song.
Oh, I don't have the Sharknado theme song.
Go, 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 go. Run away from the Sharknado.
Okay. You
So-
know what? I was going to do a stinger, but that's our stinger for this episode.
Yeah. So first, before we get to the reviews, can you guess what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for this movie?
Well, before we do that, let me go over the details of Sharknado.
Okay.
Let me go over the details for Sharknado. So, Sharknado, 2013, American made-for-TV sci-fi comedy disaster film. You get all that? Definitely did. The movie first aired on the Sci-Fi Channel on July 11th, 2013. Written by a man with the greatest name ever, Thunder Levin, who, if you don't know, wrote Sharknado. That's about it. That's about it, man. Also wrote Sharknado 2, Sharknado 3, and Sharknado 4.
And Megalodon.
So
don't forget Megalodon. This man knows sharks.
Yeah. He apparently his work, according to his Wikipedia page, his work was largely responsible for the resurgence of sharksploitation films. Not a genre, guys. Sorry.
It is when you make it. When you are driving the bus, you can make it whatever you want.
Also directed by Anthony C. Ferrante. Known for directing Sharknado, the whole series. So he directed Sharknado, Sharknado 2, 3, 4, 5, The Last Sharknado, and that's it. And a bunch of other like TV movies. A movie called Boo, 2005, and the 2017 thriller Forgotten Evil, which doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. So there you go. Starring Tara Reid, Cassie Skirbo, Jason Simmons, John Hurd, and Ian Ziering. With music by Ramin Kusha. This movie had a budget of it was a runtime of 85 minutes. This movie had a budget of $2 million, and I think made absolutely nothing.
Well, I will have you know, this franchise as a whole pulled in, let me just make sure I got the right number, $789 million.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
With the largest movie only having a budget of $5 million.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Quite.
I will say though, let's see. The premiere of the film was watched by 1.37 million viewers, which is slightly below the average audience of 1.5 million viewers for a typical sci-fi original. However, the film was a trend on Twitter, including discussion by celebrities such as Damon Lindelof, Will Wheaton, and Olivia Wilde, and also by Corey Monteith, whose last tweet before his death was about Sharknado, which is just insane. Peace, I know, rest in peace, Mr. Monteith. Due to an increase in publicity, Sci-Fi repeated Sharknado on Thursday, July 18th, 2013, 1 week after its premiere. That airing was watched by 1.89 million viewers, an increase of 38%. And then they did it a third time on July 27th, airing it, and it got 2.1 million viewers, continuing its increase in popularity.
Yeah, guess who was one of them? This guy.
You saw it in 2013?
So I want to share some light on my childhood. My mom was very strict about what I was and was not allowed to watch. Like, I could not watch Ed, and Eddie because they said stupid.
Oh, wow.
But like just scrolling through, channels, I found Sci-Fi Channel, which, yeah, they make a bunch of like cheap horror movies, like monster movies. Yeah. That was honestly, besides like Friday the 13th and Jaws, that was like my introduction to horror. I ate it all up. Like, but I had to be careful because like I didn't want my mom to find out that I was watching a movie about sharks eating people. So I would watch this at my old house. Like, we had a den. If I heard someone come down the stairs to the den, last channel was Nickelodeon. I was like, oh, I was just, watching,
just watching Nickelodeon. Oh my god! So you
While I was
were
14.
sneaking around.
I was
at
14 and I had to hide this.
You were sneaking around at 14 watching Sharknado.
Well, this was even before Sharknado. That's how I found out about like sci-fi and all the movies they did.
Yeah.
But by the time I was 14, like my mom was like, whatever, like watch whatever you want to watch. So
Yeah.
I was able to watch this for the first time. I was like, oh my god, this is cinema.
I mean, if that doesn't show your dedication to movies, I don't know what does. That's incredible.
Mhm.
Absolutely incredible. All right, Connor, why don't you bring us through the reviews for this movie? There we go. Give you an actual stinger.
So, what do you think this movie has for a Rotten Tomato score?
A fucking 2.
77. 77.
On a critic score?
Critic score. Better than The Santa Claus. What's this one below it? 10 Things I Hate About You. The Santa Claus. The Muppets Treasure Island. Just a masterpiece.
I gotta say, it's shocking, but I kind of get it. I mean, it's a movie that's so bad it's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the audience score is a 34.
Yeah,
normally that's flipped.
That makes sense
for like a so bad it's good movie. Now the critics were eating this shit up. Audience were like, turn this shit off. But I got a 5-star review and I got a 1-star review for us. 5-star. This film is a reflection of our society. It has foreseen the future. It has opened my third eye to many new possibilities in life. Without these films, my mind would be blocked from knowing the infinite knowledge of the universe. Sharks and tornadoes represent the inner conflict all individuals go through, and how you must be your own hero multiple times in order to save yourself from disaster. The world will never be the same after this masterpiece of a film after it graced us with its presence. The intellectual value this film holds is something unachievable by the mere mortal human. You have to ascend to the gods level to be able to produce and understand a film as great as this. The time and effort put in by animators is truly impressive, as the result is shockingly realistic. The gods must have blessed all the cast and crew with powers beyond our comprehension to be able to bless our eyes with such beauty. The film has a consistent storyline with no mistake whatsoever. There is never an abrupt change in the weather and prop placement, and prop placements are consistent. The Russo brothers could only dream of having such an amazing film with such realistic ideas and no plot holes. A true sight to behold. More films shall be produced by the gods. Once there are 50 Sharknado films, we shall have world peace.
Beautiful. What a beautiful summation.
God gave us the ability to craft sentences together for that purpose alone.
Exactly. When God created words,
he had this in mind.
He had this review in mind.
All right,
it's like, this is my work here is done.
He teared up. The 1-star review.
Okay.
I didn't even want to give a star, but it won't post it until I did. I was wondering if the writer and producer and director had a boys' night out, smoked some crack, and I have a few bucks in my pocket. Let's see if we can get some no-brainers to play a part in this real dumb movie. I couldn't touch her myself to sit through the whole thing. Very sad. All that
Torture.
took part in it. I'm reading it verbatim as they say it.
I know. I was like trying to figure out what he was saying.
Yeah, torture. Very sad. All that took part in it. They must be doing the walk of shame. I just read these reviews and had come back and edit mine to say this. It had to be friends or families to give this movie 3 or more stars. Are you kidding me? I am a movie buff. It was, as I call a no-effort movie this bad. The $2 expense. Just saying. I have faith you could do much better. Just don't drink or smoke the night before.
Jesus Christ.
The duality of man.
Could be a movie buff, definitely not an English buff.
No. Respectfully.
Oh man, respectfully. I don't know who you are, but it's okay.
It's brutal.
All right, let's get into the review. Are you ready to bring us through this movie? This beautiful movie. This
masterpiece that God has bestowed upon us. I am ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Go, go,
That's
go,
all I
go,
got for
go,
this
go,
one.
go. Run away from the Sharknado. Off the coast of Mexico, the ship of shark fin smuggler Captain Carlos Santiago is caught in a hurricane, interrupting his meeting with a potential buyer. Or a tornado throws a bunch of sharks onto the boat, killing all aboard. The hurricane soon hits...
No, let's just stop there. Let's just stop there for a
out.
sec. Let's just stop there.
Crack.
First off, I thought the captain was going to be a lot bigger part of this movie. Nope.
You have not seen a sci-fi movie, my friends.
I have not. But this opening is got to be one of the most batshit openings.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden we're opening on this illicit shark fin, like a drug deal, like a basically.
Yeah.
And this guy who's got the wildest, he's like, I don't even remember this guy's accent. He's like, from some country.
Mm-hmm.
And, they make this agreement at gunpoint on this price for these shark fins.
Mm-hmm.
And then the buyer is like, I'm going to escape from the ship in the ocean?
Mm-hmm. You could tell they really wanted to get Ken Watanabe because that actor looks exactly like him.
Exactly like Ken Watanabe.
But they were just like, we have $2 million to work with, and everything is animated.
Yeah.
You, PA, come here.
Yeah, you're playing Ken.
Yeah. But that's how you gotta start it. You gotta suck that captain up into a tornado to have him not spin at all and just have him ripped to shreds by sharks.
Yep. I mean, I love too that they just went right for it. Like they just 5 minutes in, we got sharks coming up through the water onto boats from a tornado.
Not even a tornado yet. Or actually, no, it was a tornado.
Just
it was a water
just a
spout,
hurricane, really.
Yeah.
What do you think? CGI was not expecting how.
What do you think of the animation or the
wow,
effects?
I just want to point out, I have not seen this movie before we watched it for this review, so I was virginized for Sharknado. I was not. I didn't know what I was expecting. I was not expecting the animation, the CGI for these sharks. I mean, it's bad. It's real bad.
That is like, I know I'm gonna keep saying it, but that was what drew me to sci-fi. I was like, oh my god, this looks like shit. Give me it. I want more.
I want it.
I need it.
Yeah, that was. Okay, I just wanted to talk about that intro a little bit.
Yeah,
because it is bad shit. You can continue the plot now.
All right.
Whatever plot there is here.
Basically, as you said, the hurricane soon hits Los Angeles, flooding the city with shark-infested water. Bar owner and professional surfer Finn sets out with his friends Boz, Nova, and George to rescue his estranged wife April and their teenage daughter Claudia after the boardwalk and bar are destroyed by the flooding. While heading to April's home, the group stops on the freeway to save people as flooding causes sharks to attack. George is unfortunately killed, and the group learns of a tornado warning. They arrive at April's house.
That's a good good place to stop.
Okay.
That's a good place to stop. We get so I actually, you know what? After they got past the intro and we got to the beach and we saw these guys on the beach, I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. This actually looks like it resembles a movie. And then the sharks attacked. And there were a lot of them. And
So
again,
fucking many.
a character I thought was actually going to play a part in this movie, that surfer chick that was flirting with Finn, thought that was going to be a character. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Within
Ian.
3 minutes of being on screen, she gets attacked by a shark and dies.
You know, I don't have my notes. I left them at work because I watched this at work. I remember distinctly putting, "Hey, dickhead, why don't you yell shark a bit sooner?" Because he waited for her to be devoured before he was like, "Hey, guys, out of the water. Shark."
But I also love, he's in the water and he's going, guys, get out of the water.
Get away from her.
Guys, there's a shark. Guys. And he's in the water. He's not making any effort to get out of the water.
No.
But he's like, guys, shark in the water. Hey, I'll tell him later. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Because then there's like a full-on like assault on this beach just by sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Comically, like there's people standing on the sand falling and being like, ah! And then they just cut to them having no legs. Like, hey, I get it. Sharks can attack in very shallow water. They need water still. I get that the movie
they do still need water.
The movie's going to take that idea, rub its ass with it, and then throw it in the garbage. But they don't have that ability yet.
And then he saw this happen, and then went back to the bar and was like, man, there's a lot of sharks in the water today.
His friend, Boz, was attacked by a shark on a jet ski. And he is just drinking at the bar, and he's like, man, what a day.
Yeah. Wow. Do you see those sharks out there? There was a lot of sharks out there. Man, good thing those sharks are just in the water, right, guys?
Would be the worst thing in the world if one just busts through our window right now.
Bam!
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, guys, we gotta armor up. Oh, I wrote down something here. The storm rolls in, and that's what kind of kicks off this whole thing. The storm rolls in. The sharks have already kind of come to the shore. They had the shark attack. They're all looking out the bar window like, man, it's gonna storm out. We should be, worried. And Finn's like, you know what? You're right. I'm closing the bar. And he tells everyone, hey guys, I'm closing the bar from the storm. And Baz, the genius that he is, looks up and goes, what's going on?
They know a hurricane is coming. This is not like some tsunami where like you get maybe like 2 minutes warning. It's like a hurricane that they know it's on their TVs. His bar is on top of the water, and he's like, man, I think I should close.
And then he makes the announcement. He's like, all right, guys, go home. I'm closing the bar down. And Baz, literally, word for word, I wrote down the quote. He looks at him and goes, what's going on? What's going on? I'm closing the bar because of the storm. And the sharks? You see the sharks? Like, you were there. You got bit by one.
Yeah. George, man. So George is
Best
a
character.
drunk. He's a drunk, played by John Hurd.
Yeah.
He's just like, I am not going anywhere. I am staying at my bar where I can get drinks and I can look at Nova, who just wearing a bikini, it's probably just like the aesthetic of the bar. Assaults her, first off.
Yeah.
Tries to, at least.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, here's a beer on the house.
That's why he loves going to that bar. He's just allowed to assault women, I guess.
Yeah. And then the sharks do come.
Yeah.
Pause.
Shark smashes through the window.
Yes. It smashes through, and they, like, a girl's just like, oh my god, help. Before waiting for someone to Nova.
Like, guys, spoiler alert, it's a sea creature on land. You can walk away from it pretty handily.
I had that in my notes too. I was like, all caps too, because that's how like mad it made me in the moment. I was like, stand up! It doesn't have legs.
It can't get you if
It
you
can
just
flop.
get up and walk away.
It could flop a bit, but it can't control.
But Nova, no hesitation, comes over with a pool cue, is like, stab, just samurai stab right through. And I was like, wow. And then Finn's like, yeah, we gotta armor up, guys. Grab some weapons. And he just pulls out a shotgun from under the bar and a revolver. And he's like, guys, here you go. And George, good old George, with his bar stool, it's like, this is mine. This is coming with me.
Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
Um,
But comes in handy immediately because Nova gets stuck on the pier and like trapped again by a shark that she could just get up and walk away from. And George hits it with the lightest swing I've ever seen a man hit anything with. And yeah.
I love just like the chaos of the scene. There's a Ferris wheel chasing everyone down. One poor extra tries to dive right in front of it in slow motion just to get crushed.
Yep.
I just love how you can tell exactly what they were allowed to do and what they weren't allowed to do in terms of shooting on set.
Yep.
They can't even like damage like one of the cars they have. It's like, we're gonna need, that's actually our cinematographer's car that we're borrowing. We can't dent it.
Yeah, we can't dent it. I will say though, I love that they get in the car, they start their journey away, and they get out of the car because of the traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the police have all the traffic stop, and they get out of the car, and Finn, in all his magical wisdom, goes, "LA isn't able to handle this much water. You look around, bone dry.
Yeah,
there's no water.
This is what
in
I'm
that
saying.
shot, in that scene. There's no water there.
Like, this movie saw its limitations and said, "What limitations?"
It was a bright sunny day when they filmed that scene, and he's like, "Man, LA can't handle this much water."
they're stopped for traffic. No cars ahead of them.
Yup.
When they're stopping to help these people, no water on these people as well. And then just tidal waves on tidal waves, just barraging the ramp. Bone dry.
Yep. So they finally get to the freeway, and first off, Finn, another great line in this movie. The writing in this movie has got to be some of the worst, but also best writing in this movie. Finn goes, "Hey, don't worry about the water. This car is waterproof." Which cars aren't water? Finn, have you been in a car that's not waterproof? He's like, the rubber seals are really great for keeping the water out. It's like, no shit, it's a car, buddy. Can you imagine if you were driving a car and it just let the water in?
Well, because they like to make the joke a lot, too, in this movie. Oh, it's LA, one drop of rain, everyone freaks out.
Yeah.
Cars are not made for LA. Like,
yeah.
They don't just, like, Honda is not just, like, pumping cars out. It's like, oh, wait, where are these going? LA? Okay. No waterproof seal.
Take the roof off. Just you know what? Take the frame off.
Give them wheels.
Give them the bearings.
Wheels and a steering wheel.
They'll Fred Flintstone their way around.
Exactly. And then George, you can always tell in these movies when someone's about to bite it because it's always a group shot and it's like, hey, where's so-and-so? And it's just them standing like, ah!
Like, hey guys. Before he beefs it though, which is hilarious, by the way. He beefs it so hard.
Mm-hmm.
He smashes the car window to
save a
rescuing
dog.
People. Yeah,
save a
dog. He goes, with this bar stool. He touches it against the window, and the window goes smash, gone, bang. Oh my god, this movie, man. All right, let's move along.
So they finally arrive at April's house just before the first floor is flooded. Jesus Christ, that's a sentence. And shark infested. Colin, who is April's boyfriend, is eaten by sharks, but the rest of the group escapes unharmed from the house, which then gets hit by a huge wave, causing it to collapse. As they travel, the group comes across a school bus trapped in the floodwaters, surrounded by sharks. Finn stops to save the kids and the bus drivers by rappelling down, from the bridge and bringing them all back up. Afterwards, the bus driver is killed by a letter in the Hollywood sign. While Nova is driving the car away, a shark lands on top of the car roof and rips it off. Finn's hand is cut while trying to fight it off, and the group has to abandon the car before it explodes. They steal another car and meet up with Finn and April's son Matt, who is found taking shelter at his flight school. One last sentence.
Yep.
3 tornadoes develop and absorb the flood water, turning it into a shark-filled Sharknado.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's the name of the movie.
So they get to the house.
Yes.
And I was actually talking about this at work today with some of my coworkers because that's how much I wanted to talk about this.
Have you guys seen this shit? It's called a Sharknado.
Well, one of my coworkers didn't even know what it was. So I was trying to explain the camp of this kind of movie and just how like hilariously bad it is. And this is the scene I brought up. Because they're driving to this woman's house, their house, April and Finn. First off, what did he do that made him so? I mean, I get he was a professional surfer. Definitely doesn't have that kind of money. This is a mansion, my friend. This is a mansion that they arrive at.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it a mansion, it's very clearly in the hills of LA. Pretty high up above sea level.
Yes.
That's important to note. They get there. They arrive driving, by the way. They get there to this house and pull up driving. And it's wet out. It looked like it had just rained.
It's raining.
Yeah, it just rained.
Nothing worse than we've gotten.
Yeah, right. It was just like they had a bit of a heavy rain for an hour. They get inside, have this whole confrontation with Colin. He's like, you can't be here. And April and her daughter are like, you can't be here. And they're like, I gotta save you from the Sharknado, or from the sharks in the water.
There's sharks in the streets.
Suddenly, Colin goes to the window, and the second he steps in front of that window, smashes open, and within probably Mach speed, the house first floor is flooded into 3 feet of water.
Don't forget one of the best lines of the movie too. There's a bunch of contenders. When Nova just looks out the window, she's like, "There's a shark in your swimming pool." How?
How did that get there?
The house had not yet flooded yet.
How is there?
There was no flooding.
Water. How is there that much water there?
But Aaryn, once they leave, surely there would be water still outside, right? If there was so much of it that it flooded the first floor of this house.
Instantly flooded the first floor of this house. Oh, you'd think. No, they get in the same car and drive away like it was fucking nothing.
Man, I love this movie.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, it's just, this is like 14-year-old me. When I saw this for the first time, I was like, that's fucking awesome.
That's so sick.
I did not know what a plot hole was yet.
Continuity.
Well, I did not know what continuity was.
Oh my god. I also want to point out too, there was one when they're on the freeway still, and they're driving on the freeway. There's a little bit of water. They did a good job with that. What they didn't need to do is cut to the sharks swimming on the freeway in about 1 million feet deep worth of water.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that there were multiple layers of sharks crossing each other. But then we cut back and they're swimming they're in about like a good 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water. I mean, it's a lot of water. Not that much.
I just love.
Oh man,
you can tell that they just use like stock footage so many times.
Oh, they did. They used documentary footage of sharks.
Oh, absolutely.
In this movie.
Absolutely. A lot of movies do that though with sharks because, spoiler alert, it's really fucking hard to film sharks.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to CGI them as well, clearly. The bridge scene when he is rappelling down to save this school bus, which is just submerged, I guess.
I guess.
Credit to the movie for being like, hey, this guy's a hero. Look at him be a hero. Even though there is no way for him to know that there's actually people on that bus.
Oh, yeah.
There's no signs of life. The bus is just sitting there in the water. And everyone's like, why are we stopping? He's like, no, I gotta save him.
Yeah, and like, dude, just fuck the bus. It's whatever. They're fine. It's not like they're gonna die. The water level's not rising as far as I can tell.
Mhm.
Although you never know, because it reached the Beverly Hills apparently, and then receded right back down. They're not gonna die. Just leave them be. They'll get rescued by the professionals. No, we gotta let's not open up the door and get people into the van and drive them to safety. No, that's not what we're gonna do. Connor, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about this situation?
First off, we're gonna rappel down from a bridge. We're not gonna open the top hatch that all buses are supposed to have, because that would be too easy, Aaron.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that.
I saw it and I was like, I'm like 99% sure all buses have to have that as an emergency exit for situations like this.
Yeah, well, where they need to get out of the top of the bus?
Because there's water, probably barricading the bottom.
Yeah.
And then one by one, we're just going to have them climb up.
Yeah. Not climb. No, not climb. Rappel up.
Oh, sorry.
They're
repelled.
gonna get, one man is going to lift them, pull them by pulley up the bridge.
Dude, we are
Go
giving discount Carl Urban so much shit but he might actually be Superman.
Yeah. And I love how, like, halfway through, or like they're close to the end, and discount Carl Urban looks at Finn's daughter and he's like, you know, your dad's being a real hero. You really should at least try and help. And she goes, you know what? You're right. And goes to the bridge and watches. She's standing next to the guy. The guy's probably like, fuck, I could use some help pulling these people out. That's she's like, you know what?
I'm picking up what you're putting down, sir. I got you.
He just goes to the bridge and watches. Oh my god. And speaking of discount Carl Urban, there's a lot of guys in this movie that look, obviously we had discount Ken Watanabe, got discount Carl Urban. You know what else we got? The fucking bus driver, teacher, whatever, discount Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah. Who, I don't know what their plan was. And also, I noticed something about 3/4 of the way in this movie. Finn, and I couldn't place it, and his voice sounded so familiar.
Are you gonna say what I think?
And I was like, it sounds like Kevin James, doesn't it?
Oh, I was gonna say, it kind of sounds like he's doing a Trump impersonation.
Oh no, it sounds like Kevin James. You go back and listen to this movie and just picture, and close your eyes and picture Kevin James.
Could you imagine?
And it's him.
Could you imagine Kevin James in this movie? If
this
he was
movie
cast,
would be the greatest movie I've ever seen if Kevin James was in it. Hands down. This would be in my top 4 on Letterboxd. 5
Easy.
stars if they got Kevin James to be in Sharknado.
Did not change a single element of this story, though.
Oh no.
Nothing.
Oh no. I would pay double the money to see Kevin James surf in this movie. Oh man,
but
that bus scene though,
dude, just capped to perfection by the tornado tossing debris at them, where they are sometimes dodging the right way.
They absolutely told the actors, just dodge, and we'll put it in post.
Yeah, we'll make it go around you, even though it looks like it's going right through you. Meanwhile, all the kids are just being treated by paramedics, like they're just in an ambulance. You know,
when did that get there?
First off, normally an adult would go with them. That's what their bus driver should be doing. But no, he's just standing with the main crew. But he's separate Once again, he is separate from everyone else.
Which means,
He says,
drum roll.
He says, and I quote, after dodging most of the sign, my mom always told me Hollywood would kill me. Boom!
Bang!
Crushed by one of the letters. And they hold on it for a while.
Oh yeah, they're like just bask in the fact that we just killed a man after we said that.
You know, it's like I forget which Transformers it is when they kill T.J. Miller.
Yeah,
And they just hold. It's like the most like gruesome death.
they electrocute him and they just
made
hold.
They made him a fossil fuel, and they hold. And then I saw that the Transformer that did it transformed into Michael Bay's Lamborghini because Michael Bay just fucking hated T.J. Miller. That's what I thought I was gonna read about this, because it was like, man, that was a little gruesome for just a random. Like, what did we miss?
Yeah, right. But this guy does have the best line in the movie where he's like, they're getting rescued and he's like, $15,000 a year, no benefits. Fuck this. Like, he's like, this is terrible.
I also like in that scene how when Finn is rappelling up to save himself and a shark latches onto the rope, he waits until the very top to be like, you know what, see you later, and cut the line. And I put in my notes, man, wouldn't he would love to have the shark repellent from the Adam West Batman movie.
Oh my God.
Bravo movie.
Yes. Now we finally get to the flight school thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just a warehouse they found.
it's a warehouse. Yeah. It's just whatever. They find each other and they're like, this is great. We've reunited. First off, most of the beginning of this movie, Finn does not mention his son once, so we see where he weighs in that family tree.
No, he literally is like, we have to go save my ex-wife and my daughter. Oh shit, I have a son.
I mean, to be fair, he does think he's like off in Arizona or some bullshit.
Yeah.
But like, even then, like, hey, buddy, you could call him and be like, hey, we're okay, or like, are you okay?
Mhm.
Nah, he's just like, I gotta get my wife and daughter. Oh shit, wait, also I have a son.
Mm-hmm.
And April's the one who reminds him too. He's like, what about your son? And he's like, oh shit, you're right, I
What
do
is he
have one of
doing?
those.
But this actually might be the best line in the entire movie. The
Mhm.
why is there a retirement home next to an airport? And Claudia goes, because old people can't hear. Nobody
Okay.
interacts with that whatsoever. It's
I'm
just
bask in that
it's
little
just-
bit of ageism.
it's literally just like, oh, old people can't hear.
Okay. Then they realize, shit, there's a tornado coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 tornadoes, actually. They formed. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Did you know that a tornado happens when cold air meets hot air? Because they explain that in the movie very clearly.
The
for
editing
no reason.
is beautiful. Just cutting back and forth to Boz explaining how tornadoes are formed. While Finn and April are looking at chainsaws like, oh, you think you can handle this one? I think this one's good for me. Yeah, so tornado forms when, cold air meets hot, warm air. And so you think this chainsaw's good? Think you got the mobility? And it just spins really fast, man, and like it'll pick you up.
Yeah. I was like, all right, let's chill out with that.
Yeah.
But then they're like, all right, we need to find a surplus store, whatever. There's like, we need to armor up.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Just leave. And it sounds like, no, we have the chance to save so many people. And I was like, it's a tornado. It'll be gone in 2 minutes. Just wait. If you just wait 2 minutes, and it'll be gone.
There's a line coming up. I'm just gonna say it now. After, because they're gonna take the helicopter because they have a plan to stop the tornadoes. 2 people, which I'll get to. Finn is on the ground, and everyone's like, "What should we do?" He goes, we're going to stay and fight. It's a tornado!
You're not fighting guys. It's a tornado. Just go. Just leave.
What do you think you're going to do?
You don't have to. What are you going to... Well, we'll get to what Finn's able to do. But yeah, they armor up for whatever reason. And instead of getting like weapons, which, I mean, you think armor up, they got to get weapons to defend themselves against the sharks. No, they just make bombs. Because everyone in this movie apparently knows how to make bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they perfectly make a whole bunch of bombs. And the son, in his brilliant wisdom, is like, I'm going to take this helicopter that has spawned right behind us when it wasn't there before. And we're going to go up and we're going to throw... Oh, wait. Is this like... Do we need to... We're getting ahead of ourselves. Do we need to... Just bring us through the rest of this plot.
Okay. So, the group borrow equipment from a nearby storage center, and Matt and Nova decide to go up in a helicopter to try to stop the Sharknadoes by tossing bombs into them, which I guess is just going to be the plot of Twisters. So I can't really complain about that. Unfortunately, we lose the best character in the movie, as Boz is killed by falling sharks, as well as two other people that Matt was hiding with. Up in the air, two other tornadoes are destroyed, but they are unable to stop the third. As Nova fights off a shark that had latched onto the helicopter, she falls out of the helicopter and directly into a shark's mouth. Matt is heartbroken. Ultimately, Finn destroys the last Sharknado with a bomb attached to his car, and the sharks begin to plummet towards the ground. One falling shark flies directly towards the remaining members of the group, but Finn jumps into its mouth with a chainsaw and cuts his way out, carrying an unconscious but otherwise unharmed Nova, and everyone is reunited, happy as a clam. The end.
So they decide to go up into this plane.
Yeah.
Into this helicopter.
As you do.
As you do. Brilliant, brilliant boy. Matt is a dumbass. I'm going to save the day. I'm going to get rid of the Sharknadoes. By doing what, you ask? Oh, I'm just going to drop bombs into the middle of... And it'll even out the air pressure, the hot and the cold, and it just goes away. You know, simple science. Yeah. We definitely didn't consult with anyone before we talked about this.
You can, Aaryn, what are you talking about? You could 100% fly a helicopter, just park it perfectly adjacent to a tornado. It's not going to affect you. Why would it do that? You're just going to be able to just drop.
You know what else? Door open. We won't get sucked out. Tornadoes are powerful enough to destroy buildings, but we'll be fine if we're not even buckled in. We're not even buckled in.
No.
But we're in a plane. We're in a helicopter. We'll be fine.
We're okay. We're okay.
And everyone else is like, you know what, Matt? Bravo.
They don't put up a fight.
No. I think Finn is the only one who's like, no. Finn is like the one who's like, absolutely not. And everyone's like, well, you gotta let him try. I mean, come on.
That was the thing. I remember putting in my notes, like, damn, he really did not care about the son. He was like, no, you're not going. Dad, I have to. All right, good luck. Don't lose Nova. That's the one I care about.
When I was watching this movie, I looked away for half a second and Baz was dead.
Can't do that.
Like, I literally looked away for a millisecond, and then later, like towards the end of the film, I was like, "Where's Baz? Where did he go?" And I read the description like he died. I was like, "What? When did that happen?"
We've had a little problem with movies recently of like, you know, them taking themselves a little too much time to set everything up. Not the case here. We are boom, 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 boom. There is never a second where you can look away.
Oh, yeah, literally. You're going to miss something. Matt's two friends, Bobby and Lulin, apparently is the dude's name.
Yep.
Lulin. This is Sharknado. Name him Chad. I don't give... Lulin? Are you shitting me? What kind of name is that?
Brad and Tom.
Yeah, literally. Like, they had what? A line together?
I was going to say, I think they had one. I think it was Bobby. Again, who could tell, had one line of
Yeah,
"Watch
who
out"
knows?
before he got smushed by a shark. I think that's the medical term.
Why are you naming a character Lulin?
If Lulin's the second friend to die, what did he do on set? Because he got a very
Nothing.
drawn out kill as well. Like a shark comes flying in, bites his arm off, and then they did.
And he's like, ah!
And then
I mean, that was you know that was the trailer shot.
oh, easy.
Because that was the best gore in the whole movie, was them killing off this no-name Lulin fucking character.
Yeah, because
who did have a line in the movie.
and then so he's on the ground, and a shark just comes up and is eating one leg and spewing blood. They're really giving him his money shot. Big shark, boom, lands right on his head.
Mhm.
But you could tell like they didn't tell him to stop moving because you could still see him like wriggling as he's dead.
Oh man. But then we get to probably where this movie just absolutely falls off whatever rail it was hanging on.
There was none.
Because Nova is like, hey, I've got the door open to this helicopter and we're out of bombs and I don't know what to do. What do I do? And then out of nowhere, a shark attaches itself to the helicopter and she's like, don't worry, I got this. And then falls out of the plane, the helicopter, and gets eaten by a shark. And I wrote in my notes, what the fuck? She just died like that?
I remember just thinking, because again, super, super cheap. Like the shark has not impacted the flight of this helicopter whatsoever.
Oh no.
She tried to like stomp it out, right? Like,
yeah, she was like, I got this, don't worry.
in a helicopter, she's trying to stomp
In a
out a
helicopter.
shark hanging onto like their landing strip on the outside of the helicopter. If it'd be one thing if the shark flew into the open window and she's like, oh, I got this, and then she got knocked out by the shark. No, it was the dumbest thing she could have done.
Instantly falls out of the
Oh,
helicopter.
and here comes a big shark.
Meanwhile, Finn, everyone else is just standing around watching these two in the helicopter. Finn is like, with the revolver, like, I'm gonna bang, 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 sniping sharks out of the sky. What are we watching?
Oh,
Sniping sharks. There's a shark coming for the helicopter, and he sees it, and it's up there, and he goes, you know what? I got this. One bullet, bang, just nails the shark.
Mhm.
And then we get the hero shot, baby. The shark comes at him, and he's got no ammo left. What's he gonna do? Oh, that's right. He grabs the chainsaw
baby.
and saws this shark in half like a man.
I would have paid top dollar if they put like the Ford music in. Here in America, we fuck up sharks with chainsaws.
When I bought my Ford truck, I knew one thing.
In my Jinko
That
jeans.
my chainsaw would be good for cutting up sharks. And god damn it, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Ba-da-dum-bow. Ba-da-dum-bow-bow.
God's blessed America, we only know two
Ford.
things. Ford and chainsaws.
Ba-da-dum. It's like, what are we doing?
Listen, I mean, that.
And to think it would get any more crazy.
Mhm.
But it does, because they go to this retirement home.
Mm-hmm. That's next to the airport because
That's next to the airport because they can't hear.
Although they seem very receptive to when people are like, "Hey, you guys should get inside." They're all like, "Okay,
Yeah, they're like, hey guys, we should probably get inside.
okay, I hear you loud and clear."
But I love how we get the shot of the pool in the retirement center, and there's one guy in the pool.
Yeah,
And his wife is like sitting with him outside the pool. And there's like one other couple maybe that's like on the
Jason.
side of the pool. And they're like, they they barge into this pool area and they're like, everyone has to get out now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like yelling at people like, get out of the pool. And first off, we cut to the couple where the guy was in the water and suddenly the woman's in the water.
Oh, because he pulled her in. I don't know if you caught that. He pulled her in.
Why?
I thought it was just, I don't know, man. He was like, no, you need to be in here.
He was like, oh, there's a tornado coming? This is the time, Janet. We're committing suicide.
You know, I feel
remember that pact that we made years ago?
It was, honestly,
it's time.
It was like, they took this time to be like, you know, our marriage really isn't what it used to be. What do you think we could do to change it? As sharks are just falling from the sky. Like, you know.
Literally.
I feel like the passion's just gone. As a shark falls into the pool.
It's just not there anymore. Yeah. So anyways, they get everyone out of the pool. And for some reason, they're like, you know what's a good idea for, I don't know what purpose it served. Let's light the pool on fire with gasoline. Huh? Excuse me, movie? You're gonna light water on fire? Hello? And blow it up. What are you Excuse me, I don't understand the logic behind this.
Mm-hmm. This movie just...
What are we accomplishing?
Just loves blowing things up. Because their first car, all that happened to it was a shark bit the roof. And then
and all of a sudden,
they're like, oh my God, I smell gas. No fire. I would know. I literally watched a car blow up this weekend. All of a sudden, this car, as soon as they're all within safe distance, kaplow.
Bam.
Just smithereens.
And so we get, you know, he, for whatever reason, I know how that writer's meeting went. The writer, Thunder Levin, went up to the director, Anthony C. Ferrante. And he said, you know what would be fucking sick? You know what would be sick? If we blew up water.
Oh, man, no. I was thinking...
And the director's like, you're a goddamn genius.
Listen, gas and fire makes boom. That's all I know.
Yeah. So that's what they do. They blow up water for no reason. And then they see that they're out of bombs. And he's like, I gotta save the day. So what does he do? He takes Baz's big bomb that he made. And he's like, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to drive 1,000,000 miles away.
Oh my God. We didn't even talk about this new car. This Hummer. This is when I thought that they were going to start playing like I don't even know. They steal this Hummer. They're like, oh yeah, now this is a car. Oh, what's this, nitro?
Yeah, this car has nitro in it, apparently. But he drives about 1,000,000 miles away from where they were at the retirement home.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got this, guys. And he sends it off one of the cliff hills into the tornado, blows it up. That works. Also, every time they lit off one of those bombs, it was the same flare animation. That same flare clip, close up. Because we had to know that they actually set it off.
Yeah. But I mean, he's driving nitro at this tornado, and he's just like, see you later, alligator. And it just tucks and rolls out of this car going a bajillion miles an hour.
Yeah, he goes a bajillion miles an hour, goes into this tornado, and it blows up. And it's a little explosion, but it's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough to do the job, and the tornado's gone. 3 seconds later, he's walking up like, oh man, thank God I blew up that tornado, right? To the rest of the group at the retirement home. Like, bro, we had about 2 minutes of you driving away towards this tornado. How did you walk back in a Mach speed?
He nitroed back.
He did.
Clearly.
He nitroed back.
Oh, man.
Gets back. Happy ending, except, oh no, what happened? Nova died? Oh, that sucks,
here
man.
comes a flying shark right towards Claudia, who I don't even know if she knows where she is. She's just standing there like this as this massive shark is just getting closer and closer.
Sharks? There were sharks?
She's like, the day is saved. And then
So Finn pushes her out of the way or whatever and dives into the shark with a chainsaw. Not immediately cutting it through because this chainsaw is on and running when he dives into it.
mm-hmm. Doesn't hurt Nova, who is just chilling in this stomach as well with the running chainsaw. No.
I will tell you right now, Connor, when he emerged from that shark with her, when he emerged from that shark and he poked his head out and then he took like an extra couple seconds to get out of the shark, I thought to myself, if he pulls that chick out of the fucking shark, I'm going to lose my mind. And then what do I see? I see him pull a fully intact, fully alive, unconscious woman from the body of this shark. Mind you, this was not the one shark that they were fighting. There was about 6 billion sharks across this whole movie. Mm-hmm. So the one that was carrying Nova, like a baby in the womb, apparently,
listen,
flies at him.
And also, everyone knows if you are a baby in the womb and your mom were to, I don't know, just jump out of a helicopter, let's say 30,000 feet in the air. As long as your mom hits the ground first, you're fine. There's no laws of impact. I mean, the sharks will hit the ground and they're just like, well, guess I'm here now.
Yeah, they'll just when he pulled her out of that shark, I laughed my fucking ass off. So I was working and I laughed so hard. I mean, that is one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen. He pulls this chick out of a shark that flew from the ground at literal terminal altitude down to the ground.
It's fine.
And just totally fine. And they reunite and it's happy ever after.
I forgot to mention with Nova. So she has a scar on her leg that she's very, she doesn't want to talk about it. When she finally opens up, it is the most like morbid story ever. It's like she went out on a boat with her grandma and grandpa, and then they got like stuck on a reef, and then sharks ate her grandma and grandpa, and then they sent in like a rescue team, and the sharks ate everyone but her. And
that's crazy shit.
And after she says this, Matt is just like, man, I really hate sharks too now.
Yeah, that's the worst response, dude. What are you doing?
He's like, man, I hate sharks too now. He was trying to put the move on.
Literally. And then the movie ends, and it's happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you get all that? Because it's a lot. It's time to talk about our scores.
Oh yeah.
So for acting, let's start with acting like we always do. For me, I mean, it's a 1. The acting is just flat out terrible in this movie. Yeah, I Tara Reid is the only actual actor really in this movie, and even she's really not good in it.
I give it a 1.5 because again, it's really bad, but at least they tried. Like, yeah, because these movies get so much crazier, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's a comedy at this point. This was meant to be a serious movie. Yeah, and they, to their credit, tried their heart out to be serious.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, 1.5.
I'll give you that. Story concept. This was my highest score for the movie. I gave it a 2.
It was also my highest.
Because for the sole purpose, or for the sole fact that this is bad.
Listen,
this is bad.
That 1-star review was right. They probably did just smoke crack, and they were like, "Yo, I got an idea."
But as far as uniqueness goes, a Sharknado, not the worst one. 2 out of 5.
I gave it 2.5 because, again, this is the best part of the movie. The fact that they just went for it.
Yes. Next is my favorite category for this movie, and it's the visuals. Connor, why don't you kick us off for the visuals?
You know, I gave it a 1. And it's just so funny, just the continuity errors, the plot holes, the fact that you could see there's so many scenes of like buildings unaffected by this F5 tornado a mile long. And the buildings are just fine because they did not film on a set. They were just out in the world and they're like, oh, we can't touch that.
Yep.
Everything was just beautifully CG'd and it's beautiful.
Yep. This is a first for me on the Filmbox podcast. And I think this is the first for all of us. I gave the visuals a fat, stinking 0.
I think the closest was Madam Web writing for me. I think I gave that half a star.
Yeah. This is a big fat... Look, I know the budget was tiny. It was $2 million. This has got to be the ugliest looking movie. This has got to be the ugliest movie I have ever seen. It gets a little better when there's no CGI on screen, which is admittedly not a lot of the time, but it still looks, it's got this horrendous, weird filter across every scene in the movie. And it's bad. It's bad. It looks like something that you'd see in a video game circa 1997.
Mm-hmm.
0 out of 5. Next up, we got the writing. And we've made fun of the writing plenty today. What's your writing score?
A 5. No. I gave it a 1.5. Again, because it is atrocious, but it is so fucking funny. Just how they'll write quips and no one reacts to them. Oh, the Baz is like, after this dude is eaten in like his home, he's like, oh, I guess it's that time of the month. No reaction.
Nothing.
It's just
the
worst.
I'm there with you. I gave it a 1.5. It's so bad it's funny, but it's obviously unironically funny,
which is perfect.
Or ironically fun. It's ironically funny. Like, it's not trying to be funny in a lot of parts, but it's absolutely hilarious. It's so bad it's good, but a 1.5 feels accurate. That brings us to our overall enjoyment score. It's just the two of us today. So, do with that what you will. But, and I'm sure we'll update this if Sam ever watches it. But we'll update it with his scores. But for this, what's your overall score for Sharknado?
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
And hear me out. It's a made-for-TV movie from Sci-Fi. I know exactly what I'm going to get, and it is so much fun. When you're just like, man, that shark is just flying, and it just bit that dude's head off. Now it's like, now it's on fire. Like, this is just awesome. The dialogue is terrible. The acting is terrible. The effects are terrible. The story is a crack. Like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah.
Like, that's peak.
Yeah.
So 3 out of 5.
So when you take all my scores and you add them up and you average it out, it came out to like a 1.1625, whatever. And you know what I said? I said, fuck that. Because this movie is a work of some kind of art. And initially I was going to give it a 1.5. Just bump it up a little bit to an even number. But my God, I think you're right, Connor. And I considered this before, and I wasn't sure about it. But God damn it, I'm giving it a 3 too. This is just the best. This is one of the funniest times I've had watching a movie by myself I think I've ever had. And just because I got to laugh at it so hard. And there's just something beautiful about the absolute anarchy that you get with a movie like Sharknado. And like you said, it's bad in every single way. I mean, this is not a well-made movie. It's not a good movie. No. But it's great. Yeah. It's great.
Like, and I was scared too, because I was thinking about this all day. I was like, oh, Aaron's definitely going to come and be come in here and be like at 1.5 because everything is bad. And I had this whole speech planned out in my head about how you wouldn't ask like Sam Hauser to be LeBron James. Like, you just know what you're going to get. You're going to get what you see on screen. It is shit, but it is delicious. And I'm so happy you're there with me.
I think you're absolutely right. So when we average out our scores, this is going to be number 17 on our list at a 3.0 average, just below or tied with Friday the 13th Part 2, just below 40-Year-Old Virgin, just above National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Sharknado, barely not cracking the top 15, but in the top 20 of movies that we've seen. Wow. Did you get all that?
Who would have thought? Not me.
Who would have thought? All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. If you like what you listen to, if you like listening to us ramble about sharks and how absolutely crazy this movie is, leave a rating, subscribe, follow us on your favorite podcast platform, not your favorite podcast platform.
Not quite.
That wouldn't be right. Follow us on Twitter at the Filmbox Pod or at Filmbox Pod. You can follow us on Facebook, the Filmbox Podcast. You can find it in the show notes. Also follow me on TikTok and Twitter. I post a bit about the movie industry and my reactions to things, as well as I post on TikTok various clips from the podcast. I got a series going on where I'm reviewing the top 250 Letterboxd American films. So that's been a lot of fun. And you can go to our website, pressplaymag.com, to see reviews of the latest movies that come out when they come out, for the most part, as well as other various articles that we like to sprinkle in, and we do a lot of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And also follow us on Letterboxd. You can see what we're watching when we're watching it, and you don't have to wait a while to hear about what we're watching when we do the podcast. You know, like this time, this episode's going to be released like 5 days after we record it. So, you know, you're going to have to wait a whole nother week to find out what we've been watching and our thoughts on them before you can even find out. When you could just follow us on Letterboxd and find out like that right away. It's a no-brainer. Just like watching Sharknado, you should do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, do you have movies to end us with?
So I'm going to do a little different since it's just you today.
Okay.
And so the reason we're recording so early out is because I'm getting my wisdom teeth out on Thursday.
Yes.
So I am going to be in no position to talk. I'm taking work off, so I'm going to have a lot of time to watch some movies. So I want you to pick a number 1 through 3.
Right in the middle. Let's go 2.
2. So I'm doing a 5-piece.
Whoa.
Because I specifically picked these movies because they're all on streaming, and you picked the Netflix category. I'm going to watch
okay.
Eat, Pray, Love, Pieces of a Woman, The Irishman, Traffic, and Phantom Thread.
I like it. What were the other options? I just got to know now.
Yeah, so number 1 was going to be Max with Lost in Translation, Seventh Seal, Leaving Las Vegas, Bonnie and Clyde, and M. 3 was Hulu, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Juno, Little Woman, and The Royal Tenenbaums.
That would have been a good category. I think I picked a good one.
You did. I got a lot of heat on that list. I'll save it for another time.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Filmbox Podcast. We will see you next time.
Peace. Run from that Sharknado.